Good morning, everybody. I just popped out to the garden so that I could finish the job I was doing last night, and that is planting some of my peas. I'm going to talk about the process that I go through to prep my peas for planting so that you know what to do in your own garden. But first, I want to show you something that happened last night in the garden. I left my knee pad out last night and my gloves, and I see that there was a little light frost during the night. I checked on some of the tomatoes that I am still waiting to ripen. I've got a few that are really big and I want to get them ripe before the frost kills them. So tonight I may put a cover over them just so that I can make sure they don't get singed by the light frost that I'm sure is coming over the next few nights. I checked the weather forecast and it was showing mid-30s at night, and sometimes it will dip below that by a couple of degrees. So I want to be prepared and I want to get those last really nice green tomatoes ripened if I can. It is early. If you can see behind me, the sun is just starting to peek up over the trees, and it's about 6:30. I'm trying to get the task that I was working on last night after work done before my workday starts again, and that is clearing these two beds of all of the sweet potatoes that I've been working on harvesting, clearing out all of the Bermuda grass that was tangled in the sweet potato vines, which was a mess and quite the job, but I am almost finished now. I am following up the sweet potato beds with planting peas for the winter and early spring. And I have a variety here that I really am excited to try. This is a new one for me, so if you want to try it, I do not have an opinion on these yet. This is the Little Snow Pea Purple, and it is from Territorial Seeds, and I was really attracted to this variety and wanted to try it because it says that it only gets to about 24 inches, so it's considered a dwarf snow pea. I think I said sweet pea earlier, but they're actually snow peas. The days to harvest on these is 50 to 54 days, which is really good, but I really liked the idea of being able to plant some snow peas or sweet peas or whatever kind of pea without having to worry about providing support for them. And since they're only going to be about 2 feet tall, I think that these will be okay without support. And I am all about less work in this season of life. And when you have a garden this big, it is a lot of work. So I'm trying to find some ways to cut down on the work. So let me tell you about the process that I follow to prep my peas for planting. So no matter what variety of pea I'm planting, whether they be snow peas or sweet peas or field peas, I will soak them overnight in water, and that will just soften the seed coat and speed up the germination time, which is a really nice shortcut. After they've soaked overnight, I will strain them out, spread them out on a plate, and I will sprinkle inoculate powder on them. You may be wondering what I'm talking about. So this is the inoculate powder that I am using. This is from True Leaf Market, and it is specifically for vetch, peas, and lentils. Inoculate powder has rhizobia in it, and rhizobia are a beneficial bacteria that will coexist or form mutual relationships with certain kinds of plants. Legumes form important mutualistic relationships with rhizobia bacteria in the soil, and this is something that will benefit both the plant and the bacteria. The plant roots are where the rhizobia bacteria will attach and grow into. This provides shelter, it provides carbon and proteins as nutrient sources for the bacteria. In exchange, the bacteria will convert atmospheric nitrogen into a form that the plants can use. So this is really important both for the plant and also for all of the soil life. As the bacteria kind of sets up shop within the root of the plant, it will form nodules, and those nodules are where this nitrogen will be stored. And if you leave the roots of your beans or your peas, your fava beans, any kind of a legume in the soil, you just cut the stem off at the end of the season, those nodules that contain nitrogen will break down and they will add the nitrogen that they contain to the soil. And then that will be usable for all sorts of other soil life as well as other plant roots that the plants can then take up. So it's a really important partnership, and just by adding a little bit of this powder to your soaked bean or pea seeds will get this started. It's really important to note though, if you want to try this, that there are different strains of rhizobia for different varieties varieties of legumes. So the one that I am using is for vetch, lentils, and peas, but then there are others for fava beans or for other types of beans and what have you. And that will be indicated on the website that you're ordering from or on the package that you're purchasing. So make sure that you take note of that so that you get the right strain. Last night I had all of my peas prepped and ready to go after following this process, and I planted them, but I realized that I hadn't soaked and inoculated enough. So this morning I'm going to be planting the rest of the peas so I can finish up that row. It is really hard for a perfectionist person like me to just leave a project unfinished, so I really want to get this done today. Oh, one more thing, just so y'all don't think I have it all together. I had these peas soaking and I put them in here like a week ago, and they kind of smell a little funky. I think I made some pea wine, possibly. So obviously I'm gonna have to start again on that. I put them out here the night before I was going to plant them in water in this glass jar, and then I forgot them. So I guess I'll be starting over on that. I am just going to plant and talk at the same time if I can. I think that's a little bit hard sometimes to talk while you're doing things. But I've been trying to find some different ways to save on time and effort in my garden, because when you have such a big garden, it can be really hard to get everything done, especially just with managing other parts of life. So I am looking for varieties that need a little less work from me, these peas being one of them. Since they only get to about 24 inches tall, I think that I won't have to stake them, and I can just come out and just pick them and they can just do their thing. So I am looking for things like that. There, I am finished with the peas, and that feels so much better to get that job done. But anyway, I had shared in my recent video on lessons that I learned in the garden this season that I really want to try to simplify what I'm planting, because I just had a lot going on. I had a lot of different things mixed in all the beds. So this season moving forward, I'm going to try to simplify that by planting single blocks, and these peas are an example of that. So I've got a little snapdragon. I don't know if you can see this. Let's look. I've got a little snapdragon here that is a volunteer, because it's blooming so nicely and it's a really beautiful white snapdragon. So I'm going to leave that for a bit as long as it stays well behaved. But otherwise I cleared this entire bed out of all of the other things, and that way I can just have a single block of peas. And in the next bed that I'm getting ready to do, that I have finished harvesting the sweet potatoes from, I am just going to be doing a single block of brassicas. And so that is going to be my practice, at least for the next season, to see how I like it. Just to do single blocks of things. And I'm going to follow that through in the spring when I'm planting my tomatoes and my peppers and my zucchini and my eggplants. So I tried it in a couple of beds this past season, and I actually really liked it. It made it a lot easier to access things in those beds. It was just a much more simplified process. And since everything is so close together, those bees and pollinators and beneficial insects will not have far to travel. There is literally 12 inches from one bed to the next right here. So I think they can manage that. This is a really short video today, but I wanted to pop on here really quickly as I did this job, just to encourage you to give the beneficial bacteria a shot in your garden. It's really not much harder. If you're soaking your peas overnight anyway, just to sprinkle some powder on and just then give it a few hours and then plant them, as long as you can remember to do that. I know that is hard to do sometimes because I can be a pretty forgetful person at times, but it's a really easy process, and I think that you'll find that your legumes will grow much better. They will be healthier because they have got the help of that beneficial bacteria under the soil working for their benefit. I hope you all are enjoying a cooler gardening season. It's a little chilly out here, but I think I'll take it over 110 degrees for sure. I'm Kara from So Arizona. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, happy gardening.